In 2016, there was an article in the Boston Globe that caught everyone's attention. It was a story of a man that had amassed a fortune of $4 million while working as a librarian at the University of New Hampshire. That librarian was Robert Morin. No one could have expected that he was a millionaire. They only found out when it was revealed on his will that he had left a huge donation of $4 million to the library. This man lived alone, really bad clothes, had Fritos and sodas for breakfast, drove a 1992 Plymouth, and spent his spare time reading almost every single book in a chronological order. And then more than a year after his death, at the age of 77, he left his entire estate to the library, where he worked his entire life. The average salary of a librarian is around $62,000. Even if he had saved 50% of his money during his entire year of 50 years career, he would have saved only $1.5 million, not $4 million. So how did he do it? The answer, of course, is through saving, but more importantly, through investing what he saved. He had stashed away nearly all of his income into a retirement account, which thanks to his sizable saving was not only accruing, but it was also compounding yearly. You may also have heard of a similar story that happened in 2014 when a janitor died at the age of 92 years old. His estate was valued at $8 million and he had amassed all this fortune also through saving. And through saving while working a modest paying job. What it tells us is that the problem isn't how much you're making, the problem is how much you're saving and then investing. So what percentage of what you make you are currently saving? What's your saving rate? Another thing that these stories tells us is that making money has more to do with your psychology about it than how you are making it. And it's important that we also share the facts about the behavior of these people so that we can understand what kind of financial choices led to this decision that they made that helped them build those wealth. So Ronald Reed regularly read the Wall Street Journal and he only invested in familiar companies that he knew that would pay dividend. His money wasn't sitting in a saving account. He favored dividend paying stocks and he was buying and holding his position. So you see, we often focus on making more money. But there's a funny things that happen when you start making more money, which I learned the hard way when I started making over six figures. The more you make, the more you spend. This is called the wealth effect. The wealth effect is a behavioral economic theory suggesting that people spend more as the value of their assets rise. A few years ago, I came across this graph. This is called the financial independent grid. This graph illustrates the importance of increasing your saving rate and what kind of return you could expect once they start compounding. So let me show you how to read this graph. At the bottom, you're seeing the starting age of your investment, and on the left, you're seeing how by saving a certain amount, what it will generate each year. Then it'll tell you at what age you'll be able to become a millionaire. Let's assume that I'm 30 right now. I'm 33, but let's assume that I'm 30 for the sake of this video. If I were to save, let's say $10,000 per year, that means that through compounding, I will be a millionaire at the age of 60. So another way to take advantage of this graph is by looking at your age and looking at your target goal for becoming a millionaire. So let's say, for example, if you are in your 20s and you want to become a millionaire by the age of 35, then you will have to save $40,000 a year in order to achieve that goal. Similarly, if you are in your 30s and you want to become a millionaire by the age of 45, you will have to save $40,000 a year in order to achieve that goal. So when I saw this graph, I realized the importance of the saving rate, because the more you increase the saving rate, the quicker you'll reach your goal of financial freedom. Because by letting this sitting in a saving account might not bring you a lot of money, but if you save it in an index fund that may compound every year at an average rate of 10.5% per year, then you might end up achieving those goals much faster than you think. So this single graph made me reconsider my entire saving strategy and made me realize the importance of saving as a wealth building strategy. What I learned from this single graph is that, one, I needed to increase my saving rate. The higher my saving rate, the shorter it'll take me to reach financial freedom, and the quicker I have $1 million saved. Two, I needed to invest those savings for the long term. Ideally, what you want to do here is automatize your saving so you can invest without thinking about it. So if it's automatic, if you are saving without thinking about it, you're more likely to save and more likely to keep that money for the long run. Warren Buffett has a funny saying where he says that no one wants to get rich slow. And it's funny because it's so true. Saving is the most guaranteed ways to build wealth. We all would rather take a shot at everything else. For example, building a startup that has a 90% chance of failing, or for other people attempting to become famous or becoming an artist, actor, or even an influencer, where the odds are even higher. So if you have bigger dreams and audacious goals, I would recommend to consider this. Just focusing on those goals is like taking a one-way ticket to an island without a guaranteed return ticket or a safety boat. For me, saving is like my safety boat. If I end up on that island and I don't achieve my goal, then I can always take the safety boat to my saving island.
Living alone on an island.
Think of it as your guaranteed plan B. If all fail, at least you'll retire a millionaire. To sum up what we talked about, I like to list a few key takeaways. Increasing your saving rate will shorten the time it'll take you to achieve financial independence. You should save as long as you can to use the power of compounding. And by automating your saving, you'll save without even thinking about it, and it'll lead you to financial independence even quicker. And if you do it long enough, you could almost guarantee retiring without trying to get rich. All right, so here's what you need to figure out, guys. You need to figure out what percentage you like to save each month, your saving rate. I recommend that you increase it as much as you can. You need to rethink how you organize your finance so that you pay yourself first. We tend to sometimes pay our debt, pay the bank, pay everyone first, but you need to pay yourself first before you pay everyone else. And finally, you need to separate bank account. For example, I'm using a different account for my saving as I am using one for my checking. And this way, my saving account is not connected to any payment mechanism. It's just purely a saving account. If there's one single big takeaway you should take from this video, is that you should take your saving rate seriously. Whether you're working as a librarian, a janitor, a bartender, a server, or a fast food worker, once you start saving, make sure to invest it somewhere where it'll compound. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to hit subscribe, and don't forget to check this video right here.